Salam sejahtera. Saudara, Singapura telah mengambil tindakan tegas ke atas akaun media sosial Zulfikar Muhammad Sharif. Ini selepas individu tersebut berulang kali memuat naik catatan yang membangkitkan rasa tidak puas hati di kalangan masyarakat Melayu Islam tempatan terhadap kaum Cina di sini. Platform media sosial TikTok dan Meta diarah untuk menyekat akaun bekas tahanan Akta Keselamatan Dalam Negeri ISA itu di Singapura. Langkah tersebut berdasarkan undang-undang bagi menangani aktiviti jenayah dan bahaya online. Zulfikar kini seorang warga Australia telah melepaskan keraitannya pada 2020. Ya, polis juga sudah memulakan siasatan terhadap tindak tanduknya yang disifatkan sebagai kelakuan yang keterlaluan. Kementerian Ehwal Dalam Negeri MHA menegaskan Zulfikar menghasut sikap bermusuhan, membenci, niat jahat dan sengketa. Dia juga mempamerkan sikap menghina dan mengejek pelbagai kaum dan agama lain di Singapura.
So he has a long history of antagonizing both the Muslim and non-Muslim public, sowing distrust and ill will, as well as painting a narrative of victimization that has implications definitely to Singapore's racial and religious harmony.
Dalam satu video di TikTok Jun lalu, Zulfikar membuat dakwaan palsu bahawa masyarakat Melayu Islam dipaksa menjauhi Islam bagi menyesuaikan diri dengan kaum Cina.
Such a narrative can create co-radicalization, which is what we are seeing in other parts of the world, where one community feels that they are being exploited and dominated by another community, and then the other community also puts on a defensive front, and then it will actually drive a wedge between different communities, and that divisiveness is actually not healthy for Singapore's social cohesion, which has implications to the survival of the nation also.
MHA menyatakan terdapat pelbagai video lain yang turut bersifat serupa. Pemerintah sudah menerima maklum balas orang ramai dan laporan polis bahawa catatan yang dimuat naik Zulfikar mengancam keharmonian Singapura. Zulfikar pernah ditahan di bawah ISA pada 2016 kerana menggalakkan keganasan dan mengagungkan kumpulan ISIS online. Menurut MHA, tindakannya itu menyumbang kepada radikalisasi sekurang-kurangnya 2 rakyat Singapura yang lain. Zulfikar juga menggesa umat Islam untuk menolak negara-negara sekular dan demokratik demi menyokong negara Islam yang diperintah di bawah undang-undang syariah. Zulfikar turut percaya keganasan harus digunakan untuk mencapai matlamat ini jika perlu. Pemerintah Singapura menegaskan ia memandang serius sebarang ancaman terhadap keharmonian kaum dan agama dan tidak teragak-agak untuk mengambil tindakan terhadap mana-mana individu. Pemerintah dan pihak berkuasa menolak sekeras-kerasnya terbitan yang berbau rahasutan dan yang boleh menggugat serta merosakkan keharmonian sosial negara majmuk Singapura. Dalam satu catatan di Facebook, Pembangku Menteri Bertanggungjawab bagi Ehwal Masyarakat Islam, Dr. Faisal Ibrahim berkata, beliau menyokong sepenuhnya tindakan tegas polis terhadap Zulfikar Muhammad Sharif. Dr. Faisal turut menyeru agar rakyat Singapura terus bersatu padu dan tidak mudah terpengaruh dengan sebarang provokasi yang boleh memecah belahkan masyarakat. Katanya, generasi demi generasi rakyat Singapura telah berusaha untuk membina negara yang bersatu padu. Pemerintah juga, kata beliau, sedang berusaha dalam pelbagai bidang untuk memastikan negara terus makmur. Dia berharap rakyat terus bekerjasama untuk mempertahankan kemajuan, keamanan, kepercayaan dan perpaduan masyarakat berbilang kaum dan agama di sini untuk berlakar masa depan lebih cerah untuk generasi akan datang.
In the past 2 months, 2 more self-radicalized young people under 21 have been dealt with under the Internal Security Act. The first is a 15-year-old student, female. She was issued with a restriction order in February. She is in fact the first female under 21 who has been dealt with under the ISA. She became a supporter of ISIS just a few weeks after she was exposed to their material online. And then she went to pledge allegiance to an ISIS chatbot. And she wanted to marry an ISIS fighter in Syria, raise a pro-ISIS family. She engaged in relationships online with foreign ISIS supporters. And she was also planning and making serious plans to go to Syria. She wanted to fight and die for ISIS. She looked up flights to go to Syria. She thought of how she's going to save money to plan for her travels. So looking at it, ISD decided, the way she was supporting ISIS, the willingness to go and fight and die, engage in violence, there were security concerns. And so an RO was issued. We'll have to monitor the case very carefully. Then there was a second case, 17-year-old boy. He was detained in March. First case, the young lady was a restriction order. This young man, boy, we have detained him. He is the fourth young person under 21, and he was detained now for far-right extremism. He was in contact with Nick Lee. He was some of you may recall, 18-year-old far-right extremist. We detained him in December last year. This young man, Nick Lee's contact, he believed that Malays and Muslims had to be killed to prevent or control their population growth. For higher, you got to keep the Muslims and Malays down. So like the other three far-right young boys, this young man also looked up to Brenton Tarrant as his idol. Brenton Tarrant, as you would know, was a man who killed lots of Muslims in a mosque in Christchurch. In fact, this young man whom we detained modeled himself after the Christchurch mosque shootings and identified 5 mosques as targets. Of these 5, he focused on Masjid Maruf Mosque, where I am today here. I'm speaking with you from the mosque. This boy wanted to kill at least 100 Muslims so that he can kill more Muslims than Tarrant had killed. He also wanted to live stream his attacks. When he was arrested, when ISD moved in, he had already made a number of attempts to get a gun. He went online to try and purchase guns. He also tried going to Malaysia and Thailand to buy guns. And he told ISD quite openly, as if he had gotten a gun, he would have carried out his attacks.